Hello and welcome to Zoom, How I Made It. This is gonna be like a creator commentary just inspired by what Chrome44 and Huey Penguin did, where they talked about their own levels and how they came to be, and even explains like some of the decoration stuff, so that's exactly what I'm gonna be doing right here. Also, fun fact, this is my second time recording this because I really wanted to do it in just one take, but I think I'm just physically incapable of speaking for that long, that perfectly, so yeah, I'm just gonna edit. I really didn't want to, but I don't like editing very long videos, but I kind of have to, or else it's gonna sound so bad. So let's start with the layout. As a lot of people know, I make layouts just for fun. I don't decorate 90% of them, not even 90%. 99% of them never even get a touch of decoration, and they're all just for fun. So this level was in production for quite a bit. Making the level wasn't very hard, it just was a mixture of laziness and not knowing what to do. And so this is the original layout. It was completed on July 7, 2023, which is actually the day before my birthday. So as you can see, it's mostly the same here, but there are some major changes in the drop. Yeah, all this was basically unchanged. Same with this. I think this was slightly buffed. That was not there originally. You used to have to click 3 times here actually, but I got complaints that it felt too unnatural, so I made it 2 clicks instead. I think it was a good change overall, but I didn't actually change it until way later because I just was stubborn because this was also really easy. What change again made it better? I don't know what I was thinking. This entire spider part was completely replaced because it sucked. You have to fit through that gap. Oh my god, what was I thinking? The way you go into it too from this. What was I thinking? In the final level, there's blocks that stop you from going too far up here to make the timing easier, but that wasn't there originally. And this ship was also changed, but that was a very late addition because I got complaints that it was a tad inconsistent, like with this click too. I didn't even find this click that hard, but gotta listen to the playtesters. Of course I find it easy, I made the layout. This was a really cool click. I wish I could have kept this. I love clicks like this, where you hit the orb before you hit the portal, so you kind of do like this. But I was told like, why do that? Why can't you just do a blue orb? Oh yeah, you're right, but it looked cool. But I did end up changing it to a blue orb because you could actually wait, did I change it to a blue orb? Or did I change it to like a timing? I don't know, let me look it up. Oh no, I changed it to a platform. Well, same thing. This is slightly changed here. Instead you flip gravity and then go into here, but in the final level you just are always right side up. That was a good change. It's less awkward. This is another huge change. I think it's the final huge change to the layout. The gameplay is entirely altered in the robot, and it was not that good. Wait, no, this part was kept the same. Those clicks were awesome. These clicks, however, were not awesome. They didn't flow well. That's why I changed it. And the final level, they flow way better. Let me show you. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, that's so much better. So that's the layout. It's time to talk about the decoration. So here we are in Zoom. So I'm gonna go chronologically from the first part to last part, because that's usually how I build my levels. Sometimes I like skip a part because I'm having issues, I'm getting frustrated, coming up with ideas, but this level was an exception. I did not skip building a part here, which is surprising, honestly. So this part, as much as I like it, was such a pain to build. I already knew I wanted to do originally. I wanted to have these, exactly what you're seeing here, like it changing colors like this, which I think turned out really nice. But it was such a pain for multiple reasons. One, the block design was incredibly boring to build. It was indescribably boring. I can't even put into words how boring this was to build. Secondly, I had some hitbox issues because you can click like not even on it and it will select these things. I should have put these last, but I didn't. And it was so annoying to if I had to like edit something here, or like touch these move triggers or anything. Or the part that annoyed me the most, selecting an entire structure so I can add to a group to move it. I kept accidentally selecting the other slopes that I didn't need to select. It was so annoying. But I did it, and it was definitely worth it. I really think this turned out nice. You might think the squares look a bit big, but they're the pulsing squares, so they shrink in the actual, when you're playing in normal mode. Yeah, they aren't that big here. Well, some of you might be thinking, why do you make gameplay like this? Why do you do the most insane stuff? And the reason for that is because I get inspired by a lot of other levels that are like this. Other creators that just do this insane gameplay. There's hundreds of levels I can name, for example, that do this exact same thing. And I get inspired by all of those to create stuff like this. And my favorite type of gameplay to make is stuff like this, but really fast paced. And also kind of flowy, but not like a raw flow level, because that's boring. I definitely like to see it. Like, look at the sink. Oops. Let me try again. See? It's not just weird gameplay, it also kind of flows if you know what you're doing. Okay, next I want to talk about is this background actually. I was confused what to do for a background, and I was just messing around, and I decided to make this like pulsing block thing, which is really easy to make. It's pretty self-explanatory. Go to layer, man. So there's 4 of them, and they all move in different directions, to the top right, top left, bottom right, bottom left. Yeah, so it looks like it's expanding. Like that, but like bigger. Let me reset it. Yeah, like that. I also made them move left to right by row, so it's a bit more lively and it looks like kind of stupid. I'm not even sure if this fits that well, but it looks cool, so yeah. Maybe if I didn't come up with the idea, I might have like recreated these structures, but instead of like structures, they're like background elements, and they're kind of like moving. That would also have been cool. Maybe I should have done that instead. But whatever, it still looks nice. Another thing I like about the structures, speaking of them, is how they move. I love making structures move like this. I did it like... Where else did I do it? I know I did somewhere else. Oh yeah, I did it at the very end of Sorry for Party Rocking. Oh, I completely forgot to mention the biggest fun fact of this all. The reason I started decorating this layout specifically and not any other layout because I wanted to enter the Zoooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovovo level. But I decided to not make this level about that pretty early on, because I didn't want to be restricted to 2 colors. I like making my levels like different by each part. Kind of like a mega collab, but like a controlled mega collab. And it's not a mega collab. So yeah, entering this part, I did not know what to do because this was always meant to be invisible. Last minute addition, I add these question marks, so I thought it would be unfair if you were like, let's say you're playing with music off for some reason and you were very confused. So I decided to just spam stuff. These are just custom objects from other levels. This is Gilbert from X11. This is, who do you think? It's Anna. And then you have these fish, which, well, they aren't mine. I just recreated them in GD. These are the from Sonic Rush Adventure from Coral Cave. I don't know if these guys have like a specific name. I'm gonna have to look that up. Also, I had like these glow beams, only exclusive to this part and not this part. You can barely notice them, but they're a little bit more. Oops. They had a little bit more to the background. And here you're not gonna really need them because it's already full, but here there's just nothing. Now I love this text so much. I already wanted to do this. I already had this in mind ever since I started building this level, and I think it turned out pretty nice. Okay, the colors aren't right here. These are how they're supposed to look. Also, like how the pulsing continues. In fact, throughout the entire level, the theme of 2 pulsing colors, not pulsing, sorry, 2 alternating colors is seen throughout the entire level. Actually, no, it's not really here. I take that back. Anyways, something I completely forgot. Above the level is stupid old gameplay, which I scrapped because it was too awkward. But if I managed to make this work, this would have been so cool. But this is even cooler, fitting through these tiny gaps. Let me see how this would have played. So, the reason I scrapped this, once again, it was too awkward and it was honestly too easy. Well, it is also really easy, so I guess nothing changed in that area. But I kept it up here. I actually keep a lot of old sections above my levels sometimes. I always thought red and, not red, am I colorblind? I always thought orange and blue were really nice colors going together, and they definitely do work here. Now we should talk about there, but this background was inspired by the gravity background. I didn't even recreate it perfectly, because the move triggers are a little off, so sometimes it doesn't look right. But you can barely notice it, and it's not even that bright. Now before I continue, you know that this level is supposed to be like my 2.1 creating journey in one level? Well, that didn't actually start until the drop, because I'm pretty sure the 2.2 release was announced. So I'm like, what if I made like these small sections? Honestly, a lot of my blocks are copy-paste nowadays. Either a whole block, yeah, I just put it all everywhere. The reason I don't really do complicated structuring that much is because my least favorite part about creating, ever, is making blocks. Not actually like making the blocks, I mean just copy pasting the structure you made over the entire part. I just hate doing that. It's the most boring part for me. So I take shortcuts sometimes. I made like groups of this and this and these and these. I will admit, it's a little lazy, but in the end, I think it still looks nice and it gets the job done. So anyways, on to the first 4 level references. These are in order of rate date and not release date. If it was in order of rate date, then these 2 would have been swapped, I'm pretty sure. And also any percent would have been the first one, because that was the first. That is the oldest rated level on my account. It just took like over a year to get rated. So we start with Party Rock and wait, where am I? I'm in the wrong place. So we start with Party Rock Anthem, obviously. Now these are actually directly stolen from the level. This is from the Dual UFO. I like the block design so much that I just didn't care. Now, it's only the blocks that are stolen. Everything else is original. Actually, no, this arrow is also stolen. But other than that and the arrow, it's original, which isn't saying too much because it's mostly empty. This background, it's like the original level, but it's not stolen. Where I had this entire grid of these objects, and I put glow behind them, so it's like very subtle. Kind of like that, but more subtle. Next, sorry for Party Rocking. I also stole the blocks from these, but this background, guess what level it's from? And it's not Lit Fuse, even though I was inspired by that. It is from one of my very, very old levels from like mid 2.1. I think 2020 or 2019. No, it was definitely 2020. Let me go get it. So this is Struck, he, him pronouns. So anyways, this level is kind of bad, but you can definitely see I was improving, but not enough because the spikes are solid. I mean, you can still die to. Wait, what? What was that? That's not supposed to happen. Why did it go black? That's not supposed to happen. That's not supposed to happen. Okay, yeah. As you can see, you can still die if you go at the right angle. Oh, never mind. That one's just sticking out. The spikes are just solid. I can't believe that I did that. What was I thinking? I even knew these were solid. It's probably like the best looking part. Actually no, I think the part that's coming up is the best looking part. Despite this all being kind of not good, I don't think the gameplay is that bad. Aside from the ending. The ending doesn't have very good gameplay. Secret. That literally does nothing. It does not do anything. It is my favorite part. And here's where the background comes from. It's not even made correctly, but it looks fine in the middle. If you were to open the editor and look at the full thing, you can tell I didn't even make it correctly. I don't know why is the tech theme there? I don't love glow anymore. Because this was like my first ever creating demotivation spike, and it happened right at the end of the level, so I brute forced it, and I just didn't feel like making the last 2 seconds. But now we're not even talking about Zoom anymore. I just wanted to show where that background came from. I chose to take it from there, not only as just a little nod to that level, but I didn't feel like remaking it because I forgot how to do it. Okay, Greg Heffley time. This one is... Okay, no, this is the most original recreation, but this one, pretty sure only this is directly ripped off, but everything else I recreated from scratch. I'm still mad that I made Greg Heffley like a non-demon because the deco is actually really good. I'm willing to bet if I went all out with that style and didn't get lazy and didn't make it a non-demon, I could have maybe had like... What is that? Oh, that's this. Yeah, if I went like all out with this style, I could have maybe gotten like an epic. Maybe I should do it with Roger Heffley, which I planned, but I never really made. And here's X11. I should have made the original level like more like this, that had like a background like this. I still am very disappointed by that level because I built it in like 19 days. I think exactly 19 days. Anyways, I can't describe how fun making this to the end was to make. That is the most fun I've ever had making a level. Ever. And considering that this was probably the most painful, well, not most painful, it was really painful just in general, and this is the most fun. It's really not fitting how they're in the same level. I really like the colors here too, like how they're alternating through all of the colors, but there's another color that's slightly ahead, and you get like sort of that, and it looks really nice. And you see how these have like thinner lines than what it's normally supposed to be on these blocks? I think I'm actually like the creator of this technique. I used this all the way back in Sorry for Party Rocking 2 at the very end. I love that new level. I love the end of Sorry for Party Rocking. Okay. give me this. So you have this, and you take these, which are essentially the same thing, but it's only black, and you put it on top. And you try to cover as much as the color as you can without completely getting it away, and you get kind of that. You're gonna have to cover up the top of it, but it's off screen here, so it's fine. Oh, my voice is starting to hurt. I don't like talking for this long. This like wipe effect where it glows as you go through it. That was a last minute addition, and I'm really glad I did that. It was kind of hard to make. Not hard, it was just tedious, but it was so worth it. I think this effect actually used to be a bit more intense, but I think the gameplay was like borderline invisible, so I made it like still visible. Look at this. That is evil. That looks cool. Let me try to play that. Hold on. No, that's not possible. I mean, it is, but the only thing I'm going off is the portals and orbs. Oh yeah, and I also made pixel stuff for this part. They used to just be regular portals, but I don't think it looked that good. Hey, CD sounds are pink. That's because there are pads on it. That's another thing I regret doing, actually. I wish I just made pad pixel blocks. It looks kind of weird. This right here, I really like this a lot. It's very unnoticeable when you're actually playing the level, but if you just stop and stare at it, I think that looks really cool. Okay, on to the final 4 levels. So it was Aeon Airspace Battle that was rated next, and then any percent because Evan found it. I'm like, why isn't this rated? So there's another original one, other than Aeon being completely ripped, which actually got a little bit broken because in 2.1 when you scaled down it would mess up if you're scaling down objects that all have different scales themselves. They kind of get messed up. But luckily it's small enough that you can't really notice. I actually really like this block design. And flashing around was also a last minute addition. And the stars in the background fall from here. Same with any percent, but they're not stars, they're kind of like little things that, I don't know. The structure here was inspired by the drop of any percent, though it's not entirely accurate because I did not want to make that again. That was such a pain to build, I specifically remember building that. Now when I got done building this part, I was like, it's like any percent, but it doesn't really remind you of it. So I added the mushroom Yoshi here as like a, oh hey look, it's 80% because it has pixel things and references to video game, yeah. Okay, this is the laziest one by far. Every single object on the screen right now is taken from Coral Cave directly. Yeah, this is from the ending of the level. Man, I want to stuff with the endings of my levels, what? I haven't got these to move, I think. Did I? Okay, on to the highlight of the level. The 3-coin gimmick. You have to beat the level 3 times if you want all the coins. That has been consistent ever since I made the layout. That was in the layout. I don't think I remember why. I kind of just did it. A little side note. I remember watching this video of this one non-demon that I don't remember the name to. Maybe someone could help me on that. But it also had a 3-coin gimmick. But that made more sense because that was like, maybe like a 3-star probably. And I decided to put in Extreme Demon. That's at least what I think happened and why I put it in the layout. Oh yeah, and the Yummy Sin background. It was fun to make. Gotta use a lot of different blocks and do this. Yummy Sin is always a level I forget I made, but when I do look back, I'm like, yeah, it is interesting. Also, I'm not sure how the coin party works if they're all on the same x-axis, so I made this one coin 1 by ever so slightly moving it. Like, if I move it here. Let me turn off animations. You can see it's just barely moved to the right. And then this one is the rightmost. And this was also fun to make. And not so fun fact, there was a really outdated person in here because they did something really stupid. And I didn't like that, but I forgot to remove the name for like 4 months or something. But I finally did that recently, like a few weeks ago. This background is really simple, honestly. It's a bunch of super scaled up gear decorations moving really fast using this 890, and they're not all the same number, so it kind of looks like it's still accelerating. I think I did that right. And also, if you wait on the end screen long enough, a little secret. Let's all wait for the music to quiet down. Thank you all for playing my silly levels. But that's not it. If you wait for even longer, and I mean even longer, it does take a little bit. I forgot when exactly it comes, but it's eventually. I think it's almost there. Hurry. Oh my god, when is it gonna come? I genuinely forgot. Okay, there it is. Buddy, leave the level. That is also in Firepower by Silo, but I didn't take it from there. This was just my idea. I didn't even know that Firepower did that as well. Firepower, I feel like it's not as good there because it's like 2 seconds after the level ends. Like, go, I just beat it. Give me like some time to react. And with that, Zoom was complete. I had made a level. So yeah, that's pretty much the end. That's pretty much everything you need to know about Zoom. If you like this, I might do some of my other levels. Maybe you want to hear about like Ender Space Battle or maybe even Coral Cave. I don't know. The building processes for all these levels are still ingrained in my mind, especially since they were like at most 2 years ago. I still remember any percent like it was yesterday. So goodbye.